The Bards of Wales by Arany János, 1817 to 1882. King Edward sits his palfrey grey, looks on his conquests pales. Let's see, says he, what's worth to me is this domain of Wales. What rivers flow, what harvests grow, what meads for grazing good? Is it well fed and watered with rebel patriot blood? Churls of this land given by the hand of God into my care, the folk, how do they love the yoke they make their cattle bear? No diamond fairer, gracious king, stands in your crown than Wales. Land, river, grazing, all are there, mountains and fertile vales. The folk indeed enjoy the yoke God set upon them, sire. Their huts are dumb, as is the tomb upon the graveyard's mire. And Edward walks his horse so pale amid his conquests bare, and all that remains are dumb domains and silence everywhere. Montgomery's that castle's name, where the king lodged that night. Montgomery, the castle's lord, feasts him with all delight. Fish, flesh and fowl and all things well, fit for the flesh's gust. 100 servants, what a rout, to task the eye's small lust. And all that this fair isle might grow, to feed the belly's glee, and all the wines of foreign vines conveyed across the sea. Gentles, gentles, is there not one that clinks his glass to me? Gentles, gentles, you dogs of Wales, may Edward's health not be? Flesh, fish, and fowl, all under sky, pleasing and sweet I see, but yet methinks the devil slinks in these lords' courtesy. Gentles, gentles, you wretched dogs, who'll sing King Edward's tales? Where is the guest who'll toast my jest? Bring forth the Bard of Wales. Etch in his neighbour's face now looks the many knights of Wales. There upon every Welsh guest's face a fear like anger pales. Words torn within, voice caught within, breath breaks and is drawn hard, but now above a lone white dove rises an old grey bard. Here is, O king, one who will sing your deeds, says the old man. The clash of battle, the death rattle, cry from the harp strings' pain. With clash of battle, with death rattle, sun sets in its pool of blood. The carrion beast smells out the food, where you, king, spread the food. Are heaped up dead, a cross of red, the thousands that you slew. The simplest churl that works the soil weeps at the scathe you do. The stake away and no delay, Edward commands the guard. Ha! Here, a softer song we'll hear. Up steps now a young bard. Ah, softly plays that evening breeze that blows on Milford Haven. The maiden's keen, the widow's pain, sigh in that wind of heaven. Virgin, Do not give birth to slaves. Mother, do not give suck. The king waves him away. He joins the other at the stake. A third, unbid and unafraid, yet comes before the king. His harp speaks then as men speak men. This spell begins to sing. The good men all in battle fell. Hear, Edward, what this tells. Seek one who'd blaze your name with praise. Lives not such bard of Wales. His memory rings the harp strings still. Hear, Edward, what this tells. Curse on your head is every song sung by a bard of Wales. This let us see, the king commands, a deed at which hell pales. Burn at the stake all those who take the proud name Bard of Wales. His servants ride out far and wide, gallop with his decree. Thus was proclaimed that day the famed Feast of Montgomery. And Edward King rides a pale horse, gallops through hills and dales. About his burns the earth's externs, the fair domain of Wales. 500 truly singing went into the grave of flame, but no Welsh bard would sing this word, long live King Edward's name. Holla, what clamour, what night song in London streets then rang. If any voice disturb my rest, the Lord Mayor shall hang. Silence stands dumb, no whisper heard, not even a fly's wing. He risks his head whose word be said, that irks the sleepless king. Holla, bring music, pipe and drum, let trumpets blast their scales. The curses sear within my ear of that damn feast of Wales. But rising over scream of pipe, the flare of bugle drum, 500 strong sing out their song of blood and martyrdom. Okay, so this is a Hungarian poet. This is János. Arany János. Now, let's see. János was born in Nagia Salonta, which was a part of Hungary at that time. Today it's part of Austria. He was a journalist, a writer, and a poet and a translator. He translated Midsummer Night's Dream, Hamlet, and King John into Hungarian. He's known as one of the greatest Hungarian poets. Now, this poem's quite interesting because he was asked to write a poem or poetry for to praise the Emperor Franz Joseph, who was the Emperor of Austria, and they had just conquered conquered Hungary, and they were now calling it the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And this is the poem that he wrote. Now, at that time, there was Hungary was ruled by Baron Alexander von Bach, who was an Austrian politician, and people objected to the way he was ruling Hungary, and there was he was widely unpopular among the people, and Arany János wrote this poem about the Bards of Wales. Now, a bard is a poet who used to sing songs, and this is a reference to King Edward the First in Great Britain, in England, who conquered Wales. I think this is something like 1200, 1270, something like that. And there is a legend that King Edward put to death 500 Welsh poets because he was worried that they were going to succor, to give strength to resistance in Wales, and to prevent them from rousing the country, to prevent the poets from telling about the glorious past of the nation. And this is effectively an analogy, because in this poem the Bards of Wales refused to write about the glories of Edward the First, and he kills all of the poets, and this was his way of non-violent resistance. It was a hidden idea of non-violent resistance. It's a strong denunciation of the domestic policies. So let's have a look at it. King Edward sits his palfrey grey. So a palfrey is a little horse. It's not a war horse, it's a horse for going round. So his grey little horse looks on his conquest pales. So he's looking at his at the thing at what he's gained by winning the battle and conquering Wales. Let's see, says he, what's worth to me is this domain of Wales. So he says to himself, well, what's good here? What's good here in Wales that I've taken? What rivers flow? What harvests grow? What meads good for grazing good? So what rivers are there? What grows in Wales? What fields are there for grazing cattle, for giving food to cattle? Is it well fed and watered with rebel patriot blood? So I've killed lots and lots of rebels, and is the land still is the land ready now to grow good things after I've killed all of the rebel patriots? Churls of this land given by the hand of God into my care. So a churl is an ignorant labourer. So the labourers of this land have been given to me by the hand of God, because, well, I am king, and the divine right of kings has decided that I will be victorious and that Wales is now mine, as we have won. The folk, how do they love the yoke they make their cattle bear? So a yoke is a wooden thing that goes over the shoulders of animals, particularly of the oxen. And he's wondering how the people of Wales will react to him being their master, to him being the person in charge. No diamonds, fairer gracious king, stands in your crown than Wales. So this is one of his entourage, and they're saying that Wales is a wonderful thing, a wonderful thing to have in your crown. It's a wonderful land for you to own. There is land, there are rivers, they're grazing all, there are mountains and fertile valleys. The folk the folk indeed enjoy the yoke God set upon them, sire. So the this member of his court says that people are very happy to serve you, to be in your yoke, that God has taught them to work, and this is what they enjoy doing. Their huts are dumb, as is the tomb upon the graveyard's mire. So I think here he's saying that nobody will say anything against you. Yeah, they're as quiet as the tomb. They're as quiet as the graveyard. Maybe they're a bit. The implication here is that they're frightened to speak against you, or they will end up in the graveyard. And Edward walks his horse so pale amid his conquests bare. So he walks around Wales, going to different places, and he looks at the lands that he has won. And all that remains are dumb domains and silence everywhere. So here I think the dumb domains, I think the people are being compared to dumb animals, and there is silence everywhere. That in reality nobody's happy that he's here. Montgomery, that castle's name, where the king lodged that night. So Montgomery is a place in Wales, and is the name of the castle where the king stayed on one particular night. Montgomery, the castle's lord, feasts him with all delight. So in the castle of Montgomery, the king is fed with all sorts of delicious things. Now, one of the criticisms about the Welsh nobles was that they were becoming more and more anglicised, and here the Lord of Montgomery Castle clearly supports King Edward. Fish, flesh and fowl and all things well, fit for the flesh's gust. 100 servants, what a rout, to task the eye's small lust. So they give him all sorts of good things to eat. Fish, meat, birds, and everything that's good, that is for the for you to eat, lovely things for you to eat, and 100 servants to serve all this food to King Edward. And this is more than you could imagine. This is a something that would satisfy any lust for food. And all that this fair isle might grow to feed the belly's glee, and all the wines of foreign vines conveyed across the sea. And they gave the King Edward all of the best things that grew in Wales, anything that was delightful to eat. And they gave him foreign wines that had been brought from across the water from other countries, namely from France. Gentles, gentles, is there not one that clinks his glass to me? So this is now the king speaking. So he's proposing a toast. I propose a toast to my health, to King Edward of England and Wales. Gentles, gentles, you dogs of Wales, may Edward's health not be. So is there nobody here who's actually going to drink a toast with me? So the people at this feast, although there's this wonderful food, they won't drink a toast with him. They resent his position as the new monarch of Wales. Fish, flesh and fowl all under sky, pleasing and sweet I see. So Edward says, well, look here, we've got good fish, good meat, good birds to eat, and these look wonderful. but yet methinks the devil slinks in these lords' courtesy. But clearly, I think that the courtesy, the fact that these lords are here, the fact that these these people, they don't like me, that the devil is here amongst them, and they resent my presence. The devil is in their attitude. Gentles, gentles, you wretched dog, who'll sing Edward's tales? So, gentlemen, gentlemen, you horrible people, who's going to sing about the wonderful things that Edward has done? Where is the guest who'll toast my jest? So, where is the person who'll raise a toast to me? Bring the Bard of Wales. So, the Bard is a poet who sings songs. The Bard is like cacophonics in Asterix. So, he's asking for the Bard to come forward and sing about the heroism and the wonders of King Edward and the wonderful things that he's done. Each in his neighbour's face now looks, the many knights of Wales. So all of the knights in Wales, they look at each other. There upon every Welsh guest's face a fear like anger pales. So they look at each other and they're afraid, but they're angry as well. They don't like Edward, but they're afraid that he's going to kill them. Words torn within, voice caught within, breath breaks and is drawn hard. But now above a lone white dove raises an old grey bard. So words torn within. People are angry, but they keep it quiet. Their voice is caught inside them. Yeah, they're breathing hard, but they're not actually saying anything. And then suddenly, a dove of peace, a grey bard, an old poet, stands up. Here is, O king, one who will sing your deeds, says the old man. So the old man says, here, I will sing about your deeds. The clash of battle, the death rattle, cry from the harp strings pain. So he starts playing his harp, and in the music that he plays you can hear the clash of battle, and you can hear people dying in this. With clash of battle, with death rattle, sun sets in its pool of blood. The carrion beast smells out the food, smells out the feast where you, king, spread the food. So there's the clash of battle, and there's this huge pool of blood where you've killed huge numbers of people. And the carrion beast, I think the carrion beast, this is the devil, and the devil smells the feast of dead bodies and blood where you, King Edward, have put out the food. So you are feeding the devil, yeah, which he's insulting the king. Are heaped up dead, a cross of red, the thousands that you slew. So are killed soldiers in a heap, and a cross of blood, well, a holy cross, the thousands that you slew, that you killed. The simplest churl, the simplest worker, simplest farm worker that works the soil, the earth, weeps at the scathe, at the horrific things you do. So even the simplest worker is upset about what you've done, is disgusted by your presence. The stake. So the stake is a stake that goes into the ground where you burn somebody. Away and no delay. So take him to the stake and burn him to death. Edward commands the guard. Ha! Here a softer song we'll hear. Up steps now a young bard. So take him away, burn him to death. Now we'll hear a better song, and now we have a younger poet. Ah, softly plays the evening breeze that blows on Milford Haven. So Milford Haven is a port in Wales, and it's got a soft and beautiful breeze. The maidens keen, the windows pane, sigh in that wind of heaven. So the women are crying. The widows are in pain, not the windows, the widows' pain. And they are sighing in that wind of heaven. So all of the women are sighing, they're sad for their dead. Virgin, do not give birth to slaves. So Mother of God, don't give birth to people, because these people will just be slaves of King Edward. Mother, do not give suck. So mother, don't give your milk to your babies, because this king will just make them slaves. The king waves him away. Go away. He joins the other at the stake. He is to be burned to death as well. A third unbid and unafraid yet comes before the king. So a third bard comes up before the king. And this third bard, he's not been asked for, and he's not afraid. His harp speaks then as men speak. This spell begins to sing. So he uses his harp to say the things that everybody in Wales is saying. This spell begins to sing. The good men all in battle fell. Hear, Edward, what this tells. So all of the good men in Wales died in battle. Hear what I'm saying, King Edward. Seek one who'd blaze your name with praise. Lives not such bard of Wales. So there is no poet in Wales who would sing your name, who would sing your praises, who would sing to say how wonderful you are. His memory rings the heartstrings still. So his memory still twists the heartstrings. So it's a very emotional thing in the memory of Wales. Hear, Edward, what this tells. Curse on your head is every song sung by a bard of Wales. So he now says that every song sung by every bard in Wales will curse you, will curse you, will say that you are a bad person, that will put a spell upon you. Let us see, the king commands, a deed at which hell pales. So let's do something about this then, the king commands. A deed, an action which makes even hell worried. Burn at the stake all those who take the proud name Bard of Wales. So Edward I now commands that everybody in Wales who is a poet, is a bard, will be killed, will be burnt at the stake. So he gives the order that they're all burned. His servants ride out far and wide, gallop with his decree. So they go out with this degree, with this order. Thus was proclaimed that day famed, Feast of Montgomery. And this was the proclamation on the day of the Feast of Montgomery. And Edward King rides a pale horse, gallops through hills and dales. About him burns the earth's externs, the fair domain of Wales. So as King Edward rides around Wales, up the hills and over and into the valleys, everything burns about him, and everything, all of the poets are burning, and also burns the fair country of Wales. 500 truly singing went into the grave of flame, but no Welsh bard would sing this word, long live King Edward's name. So 500 poets were burned, but none of them would sing long live King Edward. Holla, What clamour, what night song in London street then rang? If any voice disturb my rest, the Lord Mayor shall hang. So now, even in the streets of London, if anybody makes a noise, if there's any singing, then you will be hung. So it's like there's suddenly this ban on singing, and anybody who sings will be hung by order of the Lord Mayor. Silence stands dumb, no whisper heard, not even a fly's wing. So now nobody dares sing, because they think the king will kill them for singing curses against him. He risks his head whose word be said that irks the sleepless king. And now the king can't sleep because he feels guilty. He feels so bad about what he has done. And there is no singing. Nobody will sing. You just hear silence in the whole of England and Wales. Holla, bring music, pipe and drum. Let trumpets blast their scales. The curses sear within my ear of that damn feast of Wales. So now the king says, bring pipes, bring music, play music, let there be trumpets, because the curses that are sung against me by the Welsh poets, the dead Welsh poets, they burn my ears, they burn me inside from the day that I gave this order on the damn feast of Wales. But rising over scream of pipe, the blare of bugle drum, 500 strong sing out their song of blood and martyrdom. So he's ordered them to play the pipes and blare the bugle and play the drum, but the voice of the 500 dead Welsh poets sings out strongly, and he can clearly be heard. So the sound of these dead poets is stronger than all of this noise that he makes. So enough. Wow, very definitely an epic poem. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. The Bards of Wales by Arany János.